Village of Lincoln Heights Council meeting is now in session. Today's date is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. The time is now 8:07. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber. No response. Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia.
Present.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston.
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key. No response. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter.
Present.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Present.
We have 5 who are present, 2 who are absent. We do have a quorum, and for the record, Councilwoman Phyllis Baber did say she will not be in attendance due to illness.
Okay, for all of us that are seated in this building tonight, would you bow your heads before the Almighty, who is sitting up there looking down on us and seeing what we're doing? Father God, I ask that you come into where we are tonight, open the doors up wide open for you, even though I know you're already here, and that you pour into us what we need to do in order to get the business, the Village of Lincoln Heights, done. We're moving forward, and I thank you for what you're doing with us, to us, and within us. Stand inside of us and pour into us. This I ask in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, Father, let me have an addendum to that. If for those that are out sick, that we pray for a speedy recovery and that they return to us.
Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to excuse Councilwoman Baber?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia.
Yay.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. That motion does pass.
Motion in order for the filing of the journal for the committee, the whole meeting minutes for May 12th and regular council meeting minutes of May 12th, 2025 with any necessary corrections.
You need a motion?
So moved.
Yeah, okay.
Is there a second?
No, second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, we're going to announcements. Councilwoman Hingston, any announcements for you?
No.
Okay. Councilwoman Munya, Calhoun Munya?
Yes, we had the Respect the Block meeting on Tuesday, and we plan to have one every first Tuesday of the month. We're hoping that we'll have more people from the public out, and there's been flyers that are being put out also, I think it's going to be good for the community to, any questions that they might have about what's going on in the village can be discussed.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes, ma'am. The Valley Pantry is June 7th. It's going to be at Quinn Chapel in Southland and Forest Park. And St. Simon's Church will be sponsoring a summer camp reading program, and they can call 513-771-4828 to get additional information. It is a free camp for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders beginning July 7th through August 1st, 9 to 2.
All right, Vice Mayor Charles Jeter.
Yes, I want to say that I attended the Day of Love committee meeting and also announced that the Lincoln Heights parade will be on that Saturday, sponsored by the Village of Lincoln Heights, and applications will be online by this Friday coming up. So if anyone is interested, they can go online and get a copy, or for those who participated in the past, they will probably receive it, and I said probably receive an email with this information. So everyone was okay and ready to go. But also looking for volunteers to sign up for some of those committees, and I'll bring that list back to you so that we can participate this year. We were accused of not participating last year, so I'm sure that we will do that this year. So that's it, Mayor.
Okay. I want to thank former Mayor Richard Heading for hosting our annual Memorial Day, along with the families that came out for their loved ones, honoring Memorial Day and celebrating their service. We had a great turnout. Looking forward to having it again, and American Legion also was a participant of that. So we're thankful that we were able to, and the Hamilton County Sheriffs want to make sure that, want to thank the Hamilton County Sheriffs for their presentation as well. So we're looking forward to next year as well. It was very well attended this year, and it always is usually at 11 a.m. So if anyone's watching, just stay tuned. Every year we try to make sure that we do the Memorial Day celebration. Ms. Mitchell, I did want to ask you, how long have they been doing the Memorial Day celebration?
Been doing it for several years, many years, many years.
Okay, so it's every year honoring our lost residents that gave their life sacrificing for the country.
So, Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I need to make a correction.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible? Okay. When I said that we have been accused of not participating, it was not done by Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist Church. It was stated by someone who is new to that committee this year and wanted to see our faces available. So I don't want anyone saying that Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist Church said that. And also I want to say that yesterday, Miss Mitchell did a poem, and it was outstanding. And I'd like to see that poem given to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a copy of it. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, it was one. You don't have it with you, do you?
I think I may have a copy in there.
That would have been great to read.
Nice. It was
It was
great.
very, very, very nicely written by the author that I think Ms. Mitchell provided on Facebook as well. Yeah.
Oh, that poem that was on Facebook, that was written by Deborah Cameron. May she rest in peace. She did that one year.
Yeah.
That one was. But the one I read by Clive Sanders was the one I read at the memorial. But the one on Facebook was done by our resident. It was an original poem.
All right.
Mayor, I had a question to ask Councilwoman Mitchell. You said the Valley Pantry is June 7th. I didn't hear a time. Did you state a time?
9 to 11.
Okay, thank you.
That's the only thing that I have. We are preparing for our Labor Day parade, so we're looking for volunteers to help us with staging. As every year we have a great turnout, and since we don't charge, it's volunteers. So there are times when it does drop off in numbers because we do not charge for it, but we also always invite Princeton band, and they bring the bells and whistles out from Princeton alumni to the cheerleaders, band, ROTC, and also the Boy Scouts of Unit 772. So we're looking forward to having a very successful Labor Day parade, which will be on August the 30th of this year, day before Day of Love. So it's basically the kickoff. So we're looking forward to that. That's all I had for the announcement. Okay. All right. So We have, actually, we had, oh, he's here too. So we do have a speaker, Dr. Ernest Davis, regarding St. Monica's project. Thank
Hey.
you. It's always good to see you.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm Ernest Davis. I'm with Mantle Center. We work on trying to build health
Public
capacity
employee.
in communities. What's wrong?
No.
Oh, okay. I've spoke about some of the stuff that we do, but one of our signature programs that we actually, I think St. Monica was the second center that we started doing this with. We call it Young Researchers, where we take a concept called Youth Participatory Action Research and teach it to the kids over the course of 6 weeks. So we spend 4 weeks trying to get them to execute on,
Okay, thank you.
and I brought extra copies in case some of the members that are not here would like to see it in the future. But we spend 4 weeks giving those young people grades 7 through 12 some research education, and then we give them some research projects to go out and do surveys within the St. Monica's area. So they do kids, they do adults, and they find out a lot of information based on those surveys. Usually you get anywhere from 30 responses up to 60 or 70 responses, and you can make good inferences based off of what you get out of that data. We do focus on health, like I said, at Mantle Center. So there's a lot of different kinds of health. So they do one on physical health through nutrition, one on physical activity. They did one on social health, and then another one on emotional health. So once they do all of those, and you've got some of the data that they find in there, we ask them, what did you learn? What do you feel like as a researcher you understand more about the people that you've been researching? One of the things that came up was kids and adults think very differently. They like different types of vegetables. They get different amounts of vegetable intake over time. They like different types of exercises and things like that, and that stuck with the kids. And when we get to section 5, we say, okay, you've learned a lot over the last 4 weeks. By the way, we do pay them every single time that they come to the program. They get $20. So if they come to all 6 sessions, nice little $120 in their pocket to play with. So in that 5th session, I shut up because I talk a lot. Surprise. And then I step back and say, what do you want to research? And there's always a couple that have taken it super seriously, others that are like, I got an idea. Here they said, we want to know how to make Lincoln Heights better. For me, that gave me a little angina. I said, you sure you don't want to make St. Monica better? They're like, the problem ain't in St. Monica. When we get here, it feels safe. The issue that we see is in our community. And I said, okay, well, what do you want to make better? And these kids, who vast majority of them can't drive, say the roads. And I say, okay, I don't think we can do a whole lot about that, but it's your research. Go out there and research. So they asked people, what can we do to make Lincoln Heights better? With some options being fix the roads, some options being talk to each other more, a couple of other options, but the one that got picked the most out of the data was, and the data is in there on that super colorful piece of the, I think the 3rd page, second page, no, 3rd page, yeah. They said we should talk more. So in the 6th session, we came in and said, okay, you want to talk more? Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to talk about? How's that going to work? And the solution approach, they said, is we want to create a youth council. I said, what a cool idea. What would it look like? And on that last page, you can see some of the ideas. They say, we think that the grown-ups don't understand kids, and we know from research that kids think differently from adults. So it was really introspective. We could tell that they really took ownership of this and really made that research their own. So the ask, would you guys be and I should have started by saying Mike Pearl wanted to come tonight, but it wasn't on Monday, it was on Tuesday because of the holiday, so he wasn't able to be here, but he completely supports the idea. Would you guys be amenable to developing a youth council that would kind of talk to kids in Lincoln Heights, hear what they have to say, use some of the research that they learned how to do with us, and bring you guys ideas as to how to make Lincoln Heights better? Now, we'd have to work on what that looks like, when they would meet, how they would communicate with you guys back and forth. We'd be willing to do that work through Mantle Center in partnership with our longstanding partnership with St. Monica's. But we wanted to check with council to make sure that that would be something that you are interested in before we move forward with it at this level.
Oh, it's crickets.
I would, are we waiting, who,
I'm busy smiling, so yeah,
I have a question though.
Sure.
that's a great
Okay,
idea.
so with the youth council, you're asking us to form it, or are you going to form it and then we participate?
So the way this goes is our goal is to build capacity within communities. So we would create it with the kids
Okay.
for you guys in partnership with you to make sure that it's something that is sustainable. Our goal is not to be in every community forever. So at some point we would hand it over. Do we hand it over to St. Monica's? Do we hand it over to you guys? Do we hand it over to one of the other community organizations that works with kids here in the area? We wouldn't know what the handoff looked like. We would just be interested in creating this because we feel like from the conversation that because they have to present the idea to my board and to some of the St. Monica's administration, even the kids that we were not expecting to be really energized around this idea were super energized around this idea of being heard. And that is an aspect of health. So we feel like it would be good for those kids, and the interaction between generations is good for everybody. So at some point we would hand it off to somebody, but for the creation of it and the standardization of the protocols around it, we would help you guys do that.
So I have,
Or we would take the lead on that with Collaboration 3.
I have a question, Dr. Davis. So what age group would you have in the group?
So we only work with kids from 7th through 12th grade, and we usually only take 1 or 2 7th graders. They have to show through the community center that we work with that they're mature enough to be in there, because we talk about some kind of high level concepts through research. So if you guys feel it should be an older group, like 16, 17, 18-year-olds, we can talk about that as well. But the group that we work with is between 7th and 12th grade.
Well, you know, I think 7th grade is a great age because they're learning how important it is to be part of a government, you know. So, and I do know, like at the, I think junior high, they do have like student council, things like that. So 7th grade is a good grade.
Yeah, and to be clear, their minds immediately went to helping school, right? And we don't get hurt at school. It's better at St. Monica's, but still, and they definitely feel like some of the peer counseling that's going on at the school could benefit from a kid's perspective. And we want you guys not to be the only outlet for the research that they come up with, for the school to be an outlet for that as well. So we'd like to have a distribution of ages because it would be a distribution of grades, but that's the idea.
How do you, the demographics of St. Monica's in terms of where the children live, most of them?
Sure.
Is it mostly what we call the upper sub? Because I'm concerned that even though you're working, you're beginning this with the attendees at St. Monica's, how do we branch it out to include those who don't always come or haven't been coming, but may be interested in what this program would do?
It's a really good question. I would have to figure that out. I don't understand the geography, so I don't know where the upper sub
From
is.
Lindy up and Lindy down.
I don't know streets neither. I don't live
Hey,
here.
you got to know the community now. You
Hill down the hill.
take a tour. You got-
Yes, ma'am.
But, and I'm just, I'm just questioning that because, we want to try to get a good cross-section of the students, and I know we do a peace camp, and we probably are touching those same students, but we need to find a way to bring some new ones in as well, because we have a group of students getting all the benefits, but there are some that's left out. So if there's a way to try to pull in a few new ones, I think that would add to it.
I think that is the purpose of a collaboration with you guys, to get a full, I love the name of the committee of the whole, but just to get a whole health perspective, a whole community and demographics perspective. You guys would definitely bring that in, even with Mike tagged along and having worked in this area for a long time. I don't think he lives here either. So it would be very helpful to be able to communicate with you guys and collaborate with you guys on what that looks like and how to pull in kids from places outside of St. Monica.
I think it would be an excellent opportunity to bring our future leaders into this program, so they can see what we're doing, and we can listen and they can listen. Yeah.
Other than
it's
the comment
opportunity.
here, I'm sorry.
That's a wonderful opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Other than that one comment, are there any dissenting opinions? Because I always like to know that before I get
Anyway.
in. Dissenting opinions, people who feel like this might not be a good idea.
My question would be, what kind of training would the council have as far as how to communicate with the youth and what our expectations would be?
Yeah, so very good question. We would come up with some rules of order, very similar to the way that you guys work within here, so that not only the kids know how to work together, but how to communicate to you guys and how to communicate with the schools. So for you guys to be collaborating with us during the development of those policies, procedures, rules of order, and things like that, we can work into there. What do you guys need from them? What type of advance notice in order for them to get on the agenda or something like that? All of that stuff, and how you guys would communicate with them versus how they communicate with you. We would develop that before we got the youth council going. Very good question.
I think it would be a great idea because kids learn from kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids change minds,
Mm-hmm.
even in adults.
Yes, they do.
And just putting kids in a different atmosphere, sometimes it can be a positive more than just that setting. It can be a positive in their everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see you guys figure out a way to reach the kids that's down at the bottom of the hill, because it's true when they say each one teach one. I see this being a great thing, really just changing other youth minds, some of the other youth in the neighborhood, because if you teach them to be leaders, they'll lead their friends in the right direction.
Just give me a little bit of geography. I know St. Monica's is back here, so
No,
it's
no,
down
no.
the
St.
hill.
Monica's is up
So-
the hill.
Up
Turn around.
Monica's up the hill. So say for this,
Dr. Davis, you need to take a tour.
I drive through here. I just, I live in Wyoming, so I come through here a lot.
You know where the villa's at? You know where the villa at?
Help you out.
Come here anytime. You live in Wyoming. You ain't that
Oh,
far.
that's what you meant. Okay. I'm like, what's wrong with Wyoming?
Oh, no, I wasn't trying
You
to,
know,
not those demographics.
The elementary school at, right?
That's this way. No?
To your,
It's okay. You'll figure it out.
We're gonna get
have
you
Mike take you on tour
Yeah.
or,
Yes, ma'am.
Also, I would like to see the Education Commission become involved in this. If I was doing that, I would definitely let's leap all the way into this.
Okay.
Yeah. And we need people to serve on that commission.
Need some adults.
Yeah, we need some adults
Some
to serve
adults.
on that. Yeah.
Residents, I assume?
You have to be residents, yeah. So
Yeah.
that lets you off the hook.
I ain't
I
trying
like
to get
to
off the hook.
suggest-
I'm going to facilitate.
I'd like to suggest, Mayor, that your first activity, perhaps, I'm looking at your study, cleaning up is low, but we have a cleanup. When is our cleanup?
We haven't assigned one yet.
Yeah, it is. We thrive. We thrive when there's a
We
cleanup day.
thrive.
I'm not sure of the date.
Okay,
but
well, we'll get that
I
to
do know
you.
there's one that's probably gonna be, I thought it was gonna be in April, but I think it's sometime this month.
Okay, but I'm just suggesting
One is
they have it
coming up
on
soon.
here, and that's the lowest, one of the lowest things for all in terms of cleaning up, so that might be one of the first opportunities they have to show their stuff, show their commitment.
What I gotta do with the?
What?
Yeah.
Saying that the
Yeah.
kids come out and do cleanup, that's what I'm saying,
Right, but we're
participate.
talking about
Well,
the
yeah,
youth
you know.
council.
Yeah, that can turn them away. They be like, oh, they want us to clean the first
Yeah,
thing.
nah.
But I will ask you, when would you like us to give you this decision? Because it sounds like we're all on board for this.
This is all I needed.
Oh,
Mostly
we're on
I
board.
come to this to give you guys information and see if there's dissenting opinions. If everybody is in agreement, then I will form a small group of the kids at St. Monica with Mike and one of the members of my team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you can give them like a decree? Oh my God, that would make them like so excited.
No,
If
so
possible.
so yeah, so you can let them know that we're on board with it, and then we'll get the other formalities as we go along.
Awesome. Is there anyone that might like to volunteer to be part of the planning committee for this? Because I want to Ms. Calhoun Mumia's point, I want to make sure that we're creating this for you guys as much as for the kids, because if it doesn't work for you, it won't work for them.
I'll help.
All right.
I'll help.
Yeah.
I'll help.
I have little people still in my family. I have some little people. Not all the grandbabies are big peoples, but I do have some that are still in high school and junior high and elementary.
I
so,
just love the kids.
yeah.
All right.
I love kids, so they keep us young at heart. Especially
You
me.
don't need all of us to serve it
I
on that.
do not need all of you.
to
No, I
serve
only
on the
need one or
committee.
two.
Yeah, you need,
Well, you
Yeah.
know what, I'll withdraw because I'm already over there with the peace camp.
yeah,
With,
yeah. You can come and whoever's
Would
going
be
can
good.
come and
So
report.
you and Ms. Hingston? All right. I think I have your email. I do not have your email. Do you have a card by chance?
I think it's one out there.
Okay, I'll grab it.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Right, thank you. Okay, so we'll go straight into the rest of the agenda. For its communications from our Clerk of Council, Lisa Randolph.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to piggyback on the event yesterday. The Memorial Day ceremony was really, really, really good. And I just wanted to thank the speakers, as well as to show our appreciation to the Veterans Service Commission of Hamilton County and to Mr. Bill Burwinkle, who made a contribution so that we could have our ceremony yesterday. And I just wanted to make sure we thank them publicly. And that's it for me.
Did you want to mention the plaques? The plaques. Did we plan the order? So, as part of with the money that we were given, we plan to give the families of the lost soldiers' plaques. And so we did not have enough time because the place that we normally use closed early because of the holiday. But we will plan with the help of former Mayor Haddon, purchase plaques with the remaining monies, and the village will get reimbursed based on it was $1,000 that the village is due to receive a reimbursement form. So the monies that we spent were donated, and whatever's left over, we plan to buy plaques for the 7 families that lost loved ones in the Korean and Vietnam War. So we plan to do that. So I just wanted to let the residents know that, and we plan to have the families come, and we will give those plaques to them. So that was part of Lisa's. As far as my report, communications, I have our Lincoln Heights Mayor's Court monthly report for the month of April 2025. Total to the state, $37.50. Total area fines to external agencies, 0. Total to other entities, including restitutions, $1.50. Total bonds forfeited to the village, 0. Total to the village, including miscellaneous receipts, adjustments, and BA fees, $393.20. Totaling to be dispersed, $432.20. Also, a part of the bank reconciliation, we have a variance. Looks like it's been sitting for quite some time, so I will be working with the clerk of court to see if we can get that variance cleared up. It's a variance of $246.60. And based on the notes, it does say that it was applied from the Attorney General's office and was paid in full, but for some reason, it has not been reversed to where it needs to go. It's still showing that it's a balance, a variance in our bookkeeping, so we will be looking to get that resolved because it's coming from 2024. Based on the report, are there any questions regarding the Mayor's Court monthly
Yes,
report?
ma'am. I have a question. So, Mayor, I'm, looking at the amount that comes to the village. What are we looking at doing with Mayor's Court? We don't have that many people still coming, or are we? What are we waiting for? If we've allowed the county to say we're not going to do it, our police, the sheriffs are not going to come out here and do Mayor's Court, tickets are being sent downtown. What are we doing with our Mayor's Court? What are we going to do? What's the future for it?
Well, it would be nice if, as before, we had hired a code enforcer, and so one of the reasons for keeping Mayor's Court was so that we would be able to have code enforcement run through that instead of sending code enforcement downtown. So until council makes a decision, not just myself, along with the budget, which we haven't got there for the budget, we will decide once on budget, what are we going to do with Mayor's Court? Because no, we're not getting the dollars that we received. We have not seen those numbers in quite some time. So we will need to make a decision on if we're going to do code enforcement. Is code enforcement going to come to the village of Lincoln Heights, or are we going to partner up with another municipality? That'll be a decision for council.
Well, Mayor, I guess I'm questioning the part of code enforcement going downtown. Are you talking about for housing court? We couldn't do code enforcement as a administrative process when we get a code enforcer and they do citations, follow up, and if there's any fines, we can't do that through an administrative or a legislative piece?
I would not know, Ms. Mitchell, because we have not ever done it before. So.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Code
would
enforcement has
not
not
know.
been done in Mayor's Court. I know we talked about a housing court years ago.
But I know that we had discussions regarding if we got rid of Mayor's Court, it would take a while if we ever decided to bring it back and to get rid of it totally. is not a decision that council has decided yet. So until y'all decide what y'all want to do and we get the numbers to show that we need to go, or I know my vice mayor mentioned suspending that, and that sounded like a good idea, so we need to make a decision.
And so that decision is made through motion, through legislation. How do we
I would-
begin that discussion?
I would like
In
to
the law
see,
committee
I
or
would
what?
like, if we're gonna make that decision, I would like to see the budget along with that, because we do have a clerk of court, and with that, is that gonna be a part-time position? Is that gonna be a position where we delete that job totally? That's a conversation that we'll need to have, and it sounds like we need to have it soon.
Right, so I'm asking, how do we have that conversation? Do we do it
So,
in
let
this
me-
venue or
Let
law
me,
committee? What?
let me ask a question, because I too have had concerns about it, and I've talked to the mayor about it. But we need to know from our solicitor here, can it be suspended? Can the court be suspended?
You mean not have a session?
Yeah,
Temporarily closed.
temporarily suspended for whatever period of time? Or do you have to just drop it altogether?
So I think it's gonna depend on the nature. You know, if there were a criminal matter, there is a right to have that heard expeditiously. So that would be problematic for that. I don't think you could do a one-size-fits-all approach to it. But the things that would concern me the most would be the criminal matters, because unless the individual charge waives their right, my understanding, bearing in mind I don't practice criminal law, is that someone charged with a crime has a right to be heard expeditiously.
But do we do,
Now, you could disband it, you know, you could disband the mayor's court, certainly just, you know, stop it altogether. And then, once you decided that there was a reason to reinstate it, you can go back and reinstate it.
so
Well, I
do,
guess that's what I meant by
Yeah.
suspend. I use the word suspend because I'm not an attorney. So therefore, we just need to know the correct way to do it.
Okay?
Because
I
right
don't know
now,
a lot from
right
that,
now,
but I'm
it,
sure
it is
it's
not
bad.
paying for anything.
right.
Well, it hasn't paid for anything for quite some time,
Right.
since they stopped writing tickets out here.
So do you want to ask them to investigate and see
I
what
can,
to
I
do?
can research that.
Yeah,
and
research
find
it.
out what it takes
See
to,
what's the best way to
disband the
deal
mayor's
with that.
court. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the report? We didn't get that far.
I move to accept the report.
I'll second.
Second?
Okay, it's
Who's
been
the-
moved in second. All in favor?
Who did the second?
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia.
Okay.
Okay. It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Since we no longer have a interim manager, I'm gonna go ahead and give this report. I could have made it miscellaneous, but you know what? What I'll do is I'll save it for, the end, because it's basically a narrative that the administrative assistant gave me, that I wanted to read. But we're gonna, since, in essence of time, we'll do the legislation. I'll bring this back part.
So Mayor, will you
miscellaneous.
send us a copy of it or ahead of time or?
With this, she gave it to me. She left this for me to read, but I'll have her send it, because I have
Oh,
to give
okay.
this back to her. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just go on down, we'll follow the list.
You're gonna do number,
Old business. I'm
Levies?
doing- Yeah,
Okay.
mm-hmm. So I'm gonna come back, to the report that she gave that, we would have
Okay.
gotten. So we'll go straight into the old business when it comes to discussion of the levies. Ms. Randolph, can you hand me that? I'm basically gonna list out, okay. All right.
Back to certification.
Hmm.
The first thing is the certification. Right here. That's the email.
Okay. All right. So basically, I'm just going to be reading the email informing of them the certification of the legislation that we sent. So I want to make sure I read this right. Make sure I'm starting the right place. Is this one?
This one.
I'm just gonna read just one. I ain't gonna read all of that. I just wanted to, I just basically wanted to let them know. I just wanted to let them know regarding the certificate of estimated property tax revenues that we had to send down to the county. And basically just to let everyone know that Ms. Randolph on, is it Thursday? I'm gonna write this right, the right date, this date you just sent it? Okay, all right, so I got it right. So on Thursday, May 15th, 2025, Ms. Randolph, our clerk of council, did send to Ms. Connors our certifications of certificate copy letters along with the legislation for the Village of Lincoln Heights, Resolution 2025 R32, Resolution 2025 R33, giving a certified copy letter of the resolutions to the county. So that was something I wanted to make sure, and I know Ms. Randolph also sent emails to everyone letting them know it had been sent. Okay.
Didn't she also send 2025 R32?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I read at the top, that she did 32, 30, she's got 32 and 33 on here.
And who did you
That's
send?
32.
Who was it
She
sent?
sent it to Miss Connors.
What I was asking was about 34.
You didn't ask a question, I was just giving a report. You mentioned 32, but I read 32, but I'm not showing 32. I'm just reading off what Miss Lisa Randolph sent them. And it does not, it says Resolution 32 and Resolution 33. And then she also, oh, this is the other one, okay. And then the other one, the Village of Lincoln Heights, Resolution R34, declaring the necessity to levy an increase of a tax for the current year for the police protection services in excess of the 10 mil limitations in the Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, requesting the county auditor to certify matters in connection therewith. So that was sent also.
And that went to where?
It went to Kim Connors
The auditor's office.
at the auditor's office.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
And I only asked that question because people are listening to us and they wouldn't know who Kim is.
Yeah, so that's, I said the county, but I should have said the auditor for Hamilton County Auditor. Okay. All right, so that's what I wanted to inform council of that. So we'll go into new business. Yes, sir.
Right.
That home for something?
Yeah, so, we've got the certificate of estimated revenue back on all three levies that, council passed a resolution of necessity for. What are we doing? Are we moving forward with those? Are we going to the next set of legislation to put it on the ballot?
Yes.
All right. So then I'll get those drafted.
Everybody didn't say yes. I said yes. You know, so.
I mean, any council member can direct me to draft legislation, but I need some direction. So if that's what you'd like me to do, I'll do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you need this at all?
Those, I've got it.
Okay.
Those
So,
would not be available on the June 9th meeting, which is our next meeting. Those would be available on the June 23rd meeting. And again, just in terms of timing, that means that they've got to be down to the Board of Elections long enough for them to review it. I'm sorry. Let me think through this real quick. They got to go to the Board of Elections. That second set of legislation goes to the Board of Elections. And then they need to send it up to the Secretary of State, the Election Division, to have them review it as well. So council needs to be in a position to make a decision about them on June 23rd because the deadline is the very beginning of August. It's 90 days before the election date in November, which always falls early in August. So just in your mind, I think council needs to be thinking about, you know, are you comfortable with the revenue that was generated? Are we comfortable with the millage? I know part of the exercise, or at least I thought part of the exercise, was to determine what the revenue was going to be. So has everybody seen the certificate
No.
of estimated property tax revenue? Is everybody comfortable with it?
I haven't
You
seen,
done sent?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't gotten it. I don't have it yet.
I forwarded, I believe, to the let me see,
Oh, that, look
to
at it.
Attorney Desai.
Did you send it before the holiday?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Did you send it before the holiday?
Yes,
Yeah, it was sent to the mayor, the
Mhm.
vice mayor, myself.
Yes.
the
Okay.
finance
and then
That's
you
what I
would
thought
tell
I
me what
saw.
to do with it,
And
and
then
I didn't
I
hear anything.
forwarded it to Mr. Lemon and to the finance chair, Ms. Calhoun Mumia.
Okay.
All the ones
Okay.
for 32.
So the rest of it
So
needed,
nobody else,
But you have not, I'm sorry to interrupt you, you've not seen the one for the police levy,
No, I
correct?
haven't seen the one from the police levy, and I did
didn't
have
see
some
that.
questions in regards to the millage, the amount that was on the certification. The only way that we can, that I could understand that, I guess, would be if I heard from the finance director about what, you know, we were getting from the previous 2019 levy, and being able to compare the two.
what the difference in.
Yeah.
Yep, I didn't get the police one either.
Yeah.
I got,
I think you sent three.
Are they,
I think you sent them in different emails, but let's
Okay.
start with the 16 mil renewal. That's probably the easiest place to start. 2
And that-
meetings ago, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that's the 16 mil
Operating
for the general?
I call it the operating levy. I think it's
Yeah.
it's the same.
same thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Current expenses, I think is the formal name for it.
Yeah.
So I think 2 meetings ago, the question was, if it was renewed, would it be applied to the new property values that came in last year, or would it apply to the old property values when it was passed 5 years ago?
We did the old.
And the answer to that was, it will be applied, it'll generate the same revenue as the old one.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to assess 16 mills on the increased property values that came in last year. Renewing it, for lack of a more detailed way of putting it, is going to be at the same property values that were in existence 5 years ago, which will presumably produce the same amount of money. So that was the 16 mil renewal. And they say in item 2 of their certificate of estimated property tax revenue that it will produce $351,000.
That's on the additional 2 meals.
Nope, that's on
I
the
mean,
16.
That's 16.
That's the renewal of the
300 and what?
16 mil.
351.
351.
300, the exact number is $351,073.
Now, okay, so if the information that I had was that the annual revenue was 321,502. That was from information that we had in finance committee meeting. So that was a question that I had, you know.
About a $30,000 increase in revenue from renewing that.
Yes.
so that'd be,
Mr. Lemon, any idea what would cause that?
Yes. The property value in Lincoln Heights overall increased as in aggregate, and so whatever additional businesses or residents or whatever moved in, that generates the extra 30,000. It's not an increase per se, but it's just the difference between the value of the aggregate property value in Lincoln Heights 5 years ago versus what it is today.
So the way that I might try to understand that would be 5 years ago when it was passed, there were 100 houses, and now there's 103 houses. Okay, so it's not that they're taxing the increased value of the 100 houses. It's just that you did have a few more houses come online. Okay.
That's what happened.
All right, so that one, that one's coming in. Again, the current expenses, or what we refer to as the operating levy, 16 mil renewal is coming in at $351,073.
So is that the $35 or the $70 per 100,000? No.
Be on the 2 mil increase.
Yeah, on the 2 mil, which is the increase of the current expense, or what we refer to as the operating levy, that's going to generate approximately another $75,000. The exact number is $74,969.
60 what?
969. 74,969.
Okay. That's the 2 mil.
So,
I'm sorry, Ms. Hingston, they did break it down, I think, to what you were asking. The 2 mil increase is $70 for each $100,000 of appraised value.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the 16 million is the 35.
The 16 mil is going to produce 351, comma 073, $351,073. And that results in $212 for each $100,000 of appraised value. Now, the police levy, that legislation passed at a prior meeting, and I believe Ms. Randolph sent that down, correct?
Correct. I didn't see a response.
Can I go back to the general levy or the operating levy? So we're saying that that the renewal would bring the $212, and the increase would be the $70, making it $282 is what the taxpayers would be paying
For a
Which is
$100,000 house.
Per 100,000.
for $100,000 house, with the additional of the 70, yeah. So,
Sounds like they're currently, in half of the past 5 years, been paying, $212.
mhm.
And what's being asked in the increase is for them to pay an additional 70 for every 100,000 of value.
Okay.
And that's
So-
on the old amount, not the new?
The 2 mil would be on the new amount,
Okay.
I believe. Is that right, Mr. Lemon? Yeah, that'd be on the new amount. Ms. Randolph, do you remember, did we get a certificate of estimated revenue back on the police levy?
No, I haven't received one. I'll
That
double
means you
check,
believe
but
that it's gotten lost then.
she did acknowledge receiving, she being Miss Kim Connors did acknowledge receiving all three legislative documents.
Okay.
Can we get a printed copy of that, Miss Lisa, tonight?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So I'd follow up with her ASAP, because if they, haven't processed it, they can take up to 2 weeks, and I think council is going to need that for their meeting on June 9th.
Anything else? Okay, all right.
Yeah, it looks like you sent that down on, oh, well, you sent it down at the same time, is that right? Or was it, no, it was sent earlier, wasn't it?
I'm not sure, which one are you speaking
The
about?
police levy.
34. Is it 34?
It was all sent at the same time.
My memory is that we passed the police levy prior.
We did. It was passed on February 28th.
It was passed on February 28th and then go down to when?
Not February.
I don't know if you
Wasn't
got that date
February.
right.
It wasn't February.
When was it passed?
It was, when in April? This is May. Yes.
The meeting before, maybe this?
Look at your.
You know how to steal things, confiscate stuff.
Mr. Lemon is up. Think he wants to say something.
Yes, sir.
I believe when you were considering this, you went ahead and passed or agreed to, move forward with the police levy for certification. But because we didn't know on the operating levy if we renewed it, whether it be at the old tax rate or at the new tax rate on property. And then Mr. Desai followed up and found out from the auditor or the Secretary of State, one or two, that it would be at the old rate.
Yeah, it looks like she sent it May 16th. She confirmed it, yeah. So she, Ms. Connors confirmed it on May the 16th, which was Friday at, looks like 7:21 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right.
He is in
Ms.
receipt
Calhoun.
of all
They
of
all
them.
went down on May 13th at the same time.
Yes.
So that's odd that you got back 32 and 33 on the operating levy, but you didn't get R34 on the police back.
Contact her tomorrow, or send an email tonight.
Like she's up early in the morning. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on then. Okay, that's, I know, okay. So Ms. Randolph, she's gonna send an email tonight, and that way she'll be able to respond to everyone in the morning when she comes in, if she's heard back from them or not. Okay, so next would be our new business. There are no new business, and we go to the supplemental agenda. Motion in order for the first What?
I thought she just started reading.
No?
Oh,
Everybody received all this before the meeting, right?
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah, so by default, we'll read it by title unless someone wants to motion it by the entirety.
yeah.
Okay.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, Resolution Number 2025-R-46. Resolution authorizing the Finance Director to increase appropriations in the Capital Fund Simmons Avenue Street Project and to amend the Statement of Estimated Resources for 2025.
They moved to suspend the rules.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. That motion does pass.
The motion to receive for passage.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. Motion passes.
Motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia.
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. That motion does pass.
Ms. Randolph, who seconded that for the passage?
For resolution number 46, seconded by Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Okay, thank you.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2025-R-47, resolution authorizing the sale of certain real estate, and that address is 9682 Wayne Avenue.
This is a first
Thank you.
reading only.
Mhm.
This would be a first reading only.
48.
No, 47.
I said we on 48.
Yes, ma'am, I just had to mark my paperwork. I'm sorry.
Oh, we ain't did this one yet.
48.
No, we on 47. We ain't did yet.
That's when we just did a first.
We just
reading on.
47, right?
Oh, okay.
I believe we're on resolution number
48.
2025-R-48.
Did, I
Okay.
didn't write anything on here.
Read.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2025-R-48. Resolution repealing 2024-R-85, resolution authorizing the interim village manager to sell certain real estate, and that address is 1011 Matthews Drive.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Motion to receive for passage.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes. The motion does pass.
You ready? Motion to adopt the emergency clause.
This one have one? It don't,
We don't have one on
It doesn't have
48.
one.
you don't
None
have,
on I-48, okay.
no.
Then nothing needed, pass. Next.
Okay.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2025-R-49, resolution authorizing the sale of certain real estate. Location 1011 Matthews Drive.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes, motion passes.
Motion receive for passage.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Mayor, Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
There is an emergency clause to this one, so,
Yes.
motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes, motion does pass. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, Resolution Number 2025-R-50, resolution authorizing the sale of certain real estate, 1010 Chamberlain Avenue.
Motion to suspend the rules.
And second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
She did not hear you.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes. Did everybody go to sleep in here today?
It sounds like it.
Please wake up.
I need some coffee.
it's hard for me to hear people, so I lowered my voice so it could be on the same level.
I noticed you lowered yours. I thought
Yeah.
something was going on there too. Can we speak into the mics because she's recording that, and it is hard enough for her to transcribe these. Believe it takes a lot of time. So let's help her out by speaking into the mic. Say it as loud as you can.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree,
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Okay. Motion to receive for passage.
And second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes. Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes, motion does pass.
Is the emergency clause in here?
Yes, ma'am.
Motion to receive, to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, Resolution Number 2025-R-51, resolution authorizing the sale of certain real estate. That location is a parcel 594-0030-0423-90, located on Chicago Avenue.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Motion to receive for passage.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes, motion does pass.
Emergency clause applied to this. Okay, let's move forward then. Motion to receive, to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, Resolution Number 2025-R-52. Resolution authorizing the sale of certain real estate commonly known as 1160 Jackson Street.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Yes.
5 aye votes. Motion does pass.
Motion to receive for passage.
Second. Oh, hey. Got a new one.
Who's second that?
Calhoun Munia.
Okay.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
Okay,
A motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Okay.
It is in here. Thought I saw it. Yeah.
Second.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Oh,
Councilwoman.
It was
Calhoun
second
Mumia.
by.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass. It's 5. What was the emergency clause? Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, Resolution Number 2025-R-53, resolution authorizing the sale of certain real estate located on Jackson Street, parcel number 594-0031-0083-8390.
A motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
A motion to receive for passage.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Okay, motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Okay.
We almost there.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, Resolution Number 2025-R-54, resolution authorizing the sale of certain real estate located on Jackson Street, parcel number 594-0031-0084-90.
A motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Motion to receive for passage.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, motion passes.
Motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Last but not least. Okay.
Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, Resolution Number 2025-R-55, resolution removing Christopher Williams as signer on the First Financial Bank account connected with the general fund account for the village.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Motion to receive for passage.
Second.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second?
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion does pass.
Wow. Oh, okay. I need to make a motion, Mayor.
Yes.
But is he out there? Yeah. I didn't see him.
I didn't, where is that?
Right there. I didn't see him. Yeah.
Where? He ain't in here.
Who?
I didn't ever see him.
I didn't
come
see
in.
him. Who's the?
Mr.
That's Mr. Tate.
That's Mr. Tate.
He didn't come. I thought I was seeing something.
Maybe.
I kept looking behind the podium.
Yeah,
like,
because
am
I'm
I-
looking for him.
I-
Okay.
He haven't been here.
No, he
Okay.
didn't come. I thought I was seeing
Mayor, I'd like to
things.
make a motion to go into executive session to discuss employment of a public official.
Okay, I'll second that. And roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
5 aye votes, that motion did pass.
Okay. Of Lincoln Heights Council meeting is now back in session. Today's date is Tuesday, May 27th. The time is now 9:49. Roll call.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia,
Present.
Councilwoman Karen Hingston,
Here.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Present.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Present.
We have 5 who are present. We do have a quorum.
Okay. Is there any miscellaneous business? And looks like our hearing from the resident is not here, so I just need a motion for adjournment.
No, I need to say something.
That was miscellaneous business, but
You
go
went too
ahead.
quick. You didn't even let me speak.
That's okay. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
For the record, I brought up this agreement because a resident called me who had brought property that was concerned about, she brought property to do a business, which I thought was in the residential area. And that's why I brought that up to Ms. Lemon. But her concern was, why does the third party for the application fee charges $1,500, and then for the tax abatement, well, we don't get any money back. The third party gets $500 to $2,500 a year during the term agreement. Her concern, which made it my concern, is how is a third party company making more money with the application fee than what the property costs. I couldn't explain it to her because I did not know. So even when I talked to Mr. Lemon, I still, in all honesty, did not understand everything in what he was saying. But because I told her that I would bring it up and ask for clarification for her, that's exactly why I did it, because she was a resident who had brought property and is going to do a business with it. And that's why I asked him, are they being told that it was, where's residential or non-residential, where they can do a business? She's going to build a house, but it's going to be a business.
So Councilwoman Hingston, when she purchased the house, did she tell Mr. Lemon it was gonna be a house, or did she, or you just know that she's gonna be a
She
business? What
said
did
she filled
sign off
out the
on?
application. There's a different application for residential, and there's one for business. She filled out the one for business.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look for the application. I can't ask Mr. Lemon for that, but I'm also gonna recommend that, council, spend some time with Mr. Lemon to understand the CRA more, because there's so many, movements to it. And I know when we talked about the CRA in the beginning, you were not here. So I will be, talking with Mr. Lemon to see if he has available, along with your schedule, being available to talk with you and just spend some time. And any other council members welcome to do that as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All
Can
right.
Ms. Mitchell explain some of that?
If she would like.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't here when you brought it up, so I'm not familiar with the situation.
Okay. All right.
Somebody want to explain?
I couldn't, because it's, the individual that purchased. Do you know when she purchased that property?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll look into it and see what legislation that, when did she purchase it, so we can pull it.
Okay.
Okay. And I think we'll be able to understand it and actually talk with Mr. Lemon, which for any resident, Mr. Lemon is here on Wednesdays. If they have any questions, it's along with the CRA, he'll be glad to help them with that. So if there's nothing further, is there a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Have a good night.